just like that, we are on it, guys. What is going on,
What up? What up?
everybody? We got Tim over here. We got RC Pilot Will in the car right there. Look at him right there. See him down there, Tim?
Hey, Winston Brown, you were wrong. 8:37. He made it.
Yep. I went early so we would miss him.
So so he couldn't. So
Yeah, so
Winston
he
Brown
so
was
he couldn't
wrong.
win. I didn't want you to win that bet, dude. I had to get in there. Start early. But guys, what is going on? It is a Thursday. We have made it. Not only is it a Thursday, man, we've got a nice July 4th weekend, so we got to be thankful for that, man. So it should be pretty good. If you're stateside, that's a pretty popular holiday that we have, and probably one of the better ones that we have. I don't know though, man. Christmas is hard to beat, but I will say, yeah. So congratulations, happy freaking Thursday! You made it. We're all in here. We're all in the mix. And Tim, man, what you got going on?
Not much, man. Been a busy week. Hot, hot, hot.
I know.
Not the greatest time to be flying. Did get some flights in last Sunday. Went down to Scranton, South Carolina, and put some flights on the Atom before I go to JOK. Dial that gyro in, make sure everything was going good with it. So,
Oh, no, dude, it's not only has it been super duper hot, man, it's just been like kind of one of those things where you just want to, take a breath and just kind of, take a break, you don't really want to work too hard because it's so dang hot.
no, you go out there and you're wet in like 5 minutes, and
Oh, no.
it's just not worth going out right now. And it's hard on the engines. Turbine's not so bad, but gas
But on a
engines,
gas plane,
electric, that's not heat's not good on the batteries, and
oh, yeah,
gas motors don't tend to like the hot weather.
that's right. They start acting a little funny. You notice that too?
What's that?
I said, you notice that they start acting funny too, like the tuning and everything gets a little funny?
Oh yeah, you always have to retune. You got to we call it the summer tune and then the winter tune.
That's right. Yeah. I just know nothing's worse than a nitro engine. Man, for me in the heat, in the summer heat and the thick air and the humidity, man, those things I could not get them to run proper, man. It was just one of those things. But it's definitely muggy outside for sure.
Yeah, you got to richen them up, the motors, to get them to run decent,
Yep,
and then lean
definitely
them
do.
out when it starts getting cooler again.
Yep, I know, man. And that's what I'm like. I'm almost at the point now where I've had enough summers, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm ready for cooler temperatures now.
I'm
I'm
ready
ready
for
for
fall
fall.
already. Yeah,
I
this
am
is
too.
it's so hot this year, and then all the rainstorms we've been getting. Almost every night we've had a
I know.
rainstorm.
It's been crazy. We had one earlier today, and it was like pretty substantial. So let's see here, Daniel. What's going on? We've got Bill Wagner. He says, "Evening, packing up, flying, may lose. Y'all on my way." Got Victor RC that's there. We've got Conquest 11-7 Productions. Man, let's see. We've got Plain Day, P51 fan. We got Jake Custer in there. Dude, we've got Winston Brown, the great Winston Brown in there. And we've got, of course, Turn One, which is in the screen right there. And we've got Josh Bunn as well. What's going on, Josh? Man, we've got a whole group of people in here, man. We're just kind of knocking it out. But yeah. So what's new, man? What's going on with you?
Nothing really. Like I said, just work, hot weather, not flying that much. Work, like I said, went and flew last Sunday just to dial in the gyro on that one of my jets, so it would I wouldn't look like an idiot at Jets Over Kentucky trying to tune it.
How'd that work out for you?
Worked out great. Got 5 flights in, put some mixes in for knife edges, things of that nature. Got it dialed in really good. But haven't been flying gas at all, other than I made in the P51. What was that? 2 Fridays ago now.
Yeah.
Hangar 9 P51, and then working on that brand new Meister ME 109, getting it ready to go up.
Man, oh man. So you've been running it up and everything and get all dialed in?
Oh, I haven't really done anything. I'm ordering parts. I haven't even found the batteries in that thing yet. It is the guy who built it it's never been flown, like I said before, and he built it for Top Gun and Top Gun only. And then now I'm trying to go through it, and I haven't even found the batteries in the thing yet.
Man,
I'm just like, I don't know where everything is, and I'm finding all these little hidden compartments inside the fuselage. So it's a pretty neat build, and or he built it, I should say, but trying to figure it all out so that I can put new batteries in it, because it was built in like 05.
Man.
So like ordering parts for like carburetor rebuild. batteries.
Yep.
Going to change out all the circuits because he has some mixed match of Fataba and some high tech in there, and I want to run high voltage digital servos. So I'm going to pull all those out, change them out. But it's got an old 3W75i motor, and I called Gerald over at Aircraft International, and I'm like,
he said, Jeremy, is that a Guinness?
I called Gerald over at Aircraft International, and
I was looking at him. I was like, is that an actual glass bottle of Coca-Cola? Mm-hmm. My gosh, man, there's nothing better in the summer over here.
That is amazing.
Anyways, on that motor, I told him what I had, and he goes, dude, they hadn't made that thing in like 20 years. I said, holy crap.
That is funny, dude. What motor was that?
It's a 3W75i.
Yep, dude, I had one of those on a big old, like, I want to say it was like a MX2 or something like that I had. And yeah, man, it works. There's not a lot of parts available for it, but it works, man.
It still had a rebuild kit for the carburetor, and the thing's never even had fuel in it. But I'm going to change all the lines out and change a few things.
That's
make
good
it
stuff,
airworthy.
man. That's what you want. That's not bad at all. Well, let's see here. Dunstan Henry, what's going on? He says, Jeremy, was that a Guinness? We already said that. Let's see. Winston Brown says, okay, well, happy 4th to everybody. Let's see. Dan Zimmerman said, yes, at 51 fan. We usually have to yield to crop dusters, not Air Force One. That's funny.
You got some Crown in that, right, Jeremy? Just a little bit?
No, I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, there you go. Nice, man.
I just don't.
Alcohol.
I spend my money on planes.
Yeah, man.
Can't afford alcohol or drugs.
But you can get an airplane.
We've got our own addictions, all right. Mine happens to be foam and composite.
Yeah, hey, mine is RC airplanes, and like you said, mine is sticks and foam and turbines and anything that'll fly in the air at a high rate of speed. Let's see here. So let's see here. Dunstan says, okay, all I saw was dark liquid in the glass bottle, so that's funny. But yeah, man. So we've definitely been rocking and rolling over here. Jeremy, what you got over there on the table? Right there, buddy.
We've got lots of fun. We've got the version 2 J65 right here. We've talked about that a little bit. We actually assembled it on the show last time. This is, like I said, the version 2. The differences in the version 2 is you've got thrust reversing, and then all of the white paint is actually, or all the white on the airplane is actually painted, where it was not last time. It was just foam based. The foam was white, so they didn't paint it white. They didn't think it was needed until like you flew over in the sun, and you could see all the spars. You could see all the strengtheners.
Yep.
But anyway, now it's got paint within the entire airplane on there, and they updated the ESCs to have thrust reversing. And the airplane is just a fantastic airplane. We went out and we got several flights on it the other day. Flies just like the other one. So if you like the version 1, it flies just like it. It's amazing. But now you have a fully painted airplane, so you can enjoy it a little bit better, the looks.
Did they tweak the gyro in the new one over the old one at all, or is it basically the same thing?
It's got one of those Pulsar ones in there. I'm running one in here, and it flies great. There's no change that I know of. I didn't know there was any issues with it. I didn't like the setup of it. I didn't like how it requires 2 inputs to be able to use the gyro. So you always have, you always have to have a mode switch plugged in. Does that make sense? And so if the mode switch isn't plugged in, then you don't have gyro on. It's just off. So you always have to have that in there. So there's an extra channel that is required on there for the gyro. So like if you were to put in a Hobby Eagle per se, right? The Hobby Eagle, you do not need to use a mode switch. It just auto goes to stability.
Right.
So with the Pulsar one, you have to have a channel in there. That's just like, what is it? Reflex? Is that the one that FMS has? Reflex has that. So the Reflex one, if you don't have that mode switch plugged in there, man, it acts kind of funny. But It is what it is. It just requires that. That's what I didn't like is the extra channel having to have on there, because then instead of running a 6-channel airplane back when you needed a 7, but now with thrust reversing on there, you need an 8 to run that gyro. So just gets a little bit more expensive when you have to do that. So I still prefer to use a Hobby Eagle on there. You can run a 7-channel on there in this airplane with a Hobby Eagle. No mode switch needed, and you're good to go.
Man.
And then we've got the C-17, yes, amazing, dude, small but big airplane.
Yeah, Bobby's got some flights in on that, don't you, Bobby?
Dude, man, I have pushed that thing to the limit. I have flown that thing in so many ways and extremely hard, man. And let me tell you, that thing is a really fun flying airplane. Like it's an absolutely fun airplane, and it's got really good speed. It's got agility. It's quick. I mean, it's got more than enough power. Like it's just one of those things where it's just like Jeremy was dead on, man. It's an excellent flying airplane, man. It's almost so good that you're just kind of like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? It's like it's such a good flyer. It really is.
Well, the one thing I was impressed too, Bobby, was that it got off your field pretty darn quickly.
No problem.
Yeah, which I was shocked with those little wheels. I thought for sure you were going to struggle some, and man, that thing came off the ground no problem.
Dude,
I laughed so hard when I saw the video where you guys contemplated the hand toss.
Yeah,
you could just see the gears turning. You're like, should we? Why not? Let's do it. And then it was like up and out. And I knew it was going to be like that. I told you before. I said, if you're going to hand toss it, you don't need flaps.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, Jeremy said I could hand toss it. I was like, he said he's done it a bunch of times. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm like, let's just see what happens. So, but
hilarious.
Dude, let's see here.
Hey, Mountain RC just asked me what battery I'm running in the J65. Just a 5,000. You can put a 5,000. You can put up to like a 6,200 in there. And it's fine. With a 5,000, you can already fly that thing for like 7, 8 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Really nice.
So,
but
that's the J65. C-17 wise, that thing is also very good on power.
You got
you can fly that thing forever.
Oh, is this the hand toss?
Man, fling it around.
All right, you ready?
There you go.
Like, look, I'm like, I checked the battery and I was like, man, I'm gonna do it. Watch.
Let's try to hand toss it. Why not?
Yeah, we can.
I'm gonna hand toss it.
Look at the
just
gears
to show
turning.
people that it's doable. You ready?
And Will's like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, Will's like, "You don't want to do that." And I'm like,
"6% left, so you got enough time."
I felt the thrust on it. I'm like,
fling it around.
All right, you ready?
You gotta power it up and throw it.
Here we go.
You got it.
I think I would have had Will toss it for me, but that's just my opinion.
Nah, you wouldn't.
It's gonna go good.
I got video while you wouldn't.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh man, he's off.
You can hand toss that, boy.
It's got so much thrust.
Look at that.
Crazy. Look, it's just
Look
bombing.
at that.
Oh
No
man, he's off.
You can hand toss that, boy.
Gobs of power.
With the gear on.
Nice.
Thing's got so much power for little 40
With the
millimeters.
gear on there.
Ridiculous.
So,
yeah, it's a really nice.
No problems whatsoever with that.
And then it flies really nice too. I had to mix in some
the angles on that airplane look so real a lot of the time, like especially when it's flying away and slow.
It
looks
like
so
that.
cool to me.
It's a big,
I know.
So
it's just a good flying airplane, man. Like all the way around. It's just good, man. There's no other way I could say it. But it's a fun airplane. It's crazy, dude. I just think that $319.99 is crazy in this day and age of where everything else is expensive. It's a good price.
It is.
It's a
we tried to keep the price as low as we possibly can for you guys.
Yep.
So just like the J20, if we would have brought that thing a month ago, you guys would have hated the price. And that's just what it was. So
but now these guys are going to love the price. So
now love the price, enjoy the plane, and just toss it and have a blast with it. It's fun. It's a hoot. It's just this little plane that you can do all kinds of things with.
Oh no, I'm talking about the J20. They're going to love the price on that one, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
but,
so that's a good price.
Production says, did any grass get in the air intake on the C-17? So no grass got in the air intake, but I will say I noticed in the little EDFs that there was some like where it chewed up some of the grass from our field in there, but it was nothing major. It wasn't a lot or anything like that. It was just I just noticed some green in there where it had chopped it up on the way, taking it off on our field. Our grass needed to be mowed, and so clearly it ate some of that, but it didn't care. Jeremy, another thing I'm wondering too is, you think that thing would fly off of like 140 millimeter on each side? Like, what would happen if one went out?
I'm sure it would.
Yeah, I thought it would too.
It'll have the power like the airliner does.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, as long as it's moving fast, it's gonna be fine. So, but
here's my question. I don't think you guys are gonna foresee seeing a motor stop.
Nah, I don't think so either.
Motors today are pretty dang reliable. The only thing that isn't really reliable, and we've said this in previous shows, is the quality of ESCs across the entire spectrum has been a very different batching, if that makes any sense. Like a longest time ago, ESCs were never really an issue, and then it's like COVID happened, and then after that, all the ESCs kind of, had all kinds of random things. You had like free wing jets that were catching fire, and then you have some of our big 105s that are randomly just having stupid things here and there. I just think it's more like, I think it's ESCs in general, that the manufacturers that are kind of
I'm gonna make it here. As long as Will's not flying it.
And look, I let him fly.
Will flies that thing, the ESCs are going to burn up. It's going to go in like a flame.
Hey, I let him fly it. I made sure I had a gyro on and everything. No, he really did fly. He had a good time too. It's in that video. If you watch the end of that video, he actually flies it, and he does a really good job. He likes it a lot. It's a very forgiving airplane. But Josh Bunn says there are a lot of junk ESCs. I will say,
that's all I'm trying to say is across the spectrum. It's not one brand that's being weird like this. It's almost like they all get parts from the same manufacturer of parts.
Right.
And those parts are what are kind of giving a little bit of death to some airplanes and here and there. But it's not like a crazy rash. It just seems like we're hearing about it more often. You know what I mean?
Mount RC said, "Will flying and safe because Bobby said so."
No, that's good. That's good. That's really good.
Will doesn't fly and safe. He doesn't. But no, he really did do a good job flying that one too. So, and also, let's see. Yeah, I've noticed too, Jeremy, that the weak point on a lot of these airplanes are the ESCs. Heck, I had one of the ESCs burn up on me like 2 times on the what was that big 105 T45 that I had. They just burnt out, and I'm like, that was the fail point. It happened to me twice, and then one was a motor, and then 2 was the ESCs. After that, I said, that's it.
Those were the old ones. Those are back when it was like ZB or something like that, or whatever it was.
Oh no, these are like Castle ones that I bought. These are Castles that I bought.
Oh, they were Castle ones.
Yeah, so I was like,
but like in our AF model airplanes, we went straight to Hobby Wing. I've always enjoyed Hobby Wing ESCs. They've been a great brand.
Yeah,
I like ZTW. ZTW does a great job.
Yeah.
Castle, I've had hit or miss with Castle, and I don't understand why. They're such a wide known, available ESC,
and usually a reliable ESC. But every once in a while, you get a bad one. I don't know why.
For BECs, they're untouchable, right? But what the heck is going on with ESCs?
Don't know.
My buddy has a big BVM, 110 or 120 fan F86. That comes stock with a Castle ESC in that thing. They're still running Deans on the thing, first of all. But but that ESC just does not produce the power it should. Don't know why. We went through everything on it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's across the board.
Yeah, and you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, it's across the board, I would say. So that's why that was one of the reasons.
Somebody was asking what's the best ESCs out there. I don't think there really is an actual best ESC anymore. We're seeing it on every single brand. Plain
Day says, "I'm going to tell you why he burns ESCs, because math needs to be done. kV times voltage tells you RPMs. Exceed that, and you'll find out. Also, too, flying these big old 110 EDF, jets in the middle of the summer with that excess heat. And if you don't have a heat sink on that thing and you try to go fly back to back, that'll do it every single time.
It's not just that, it's timing.
Well, also your
It's not
timing.
just
Well,
all those
yeah,
things.
you can't have
Timing.
high
If you're
timing. In the
if
summertime,
you don't know to adjust timing and how to watch timing,
Yeah.
then stay in 90 millimeter and below, because you don't need to worry about timing there.
That's right. Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's true. If you want to have fun, you can turn it up. You can turn your timing up on an 80 millimeter for sure. Will did it, got like 160 miles an hour out of a 90 millimeter F-22. I thought there was something wrong with the GPS. I was like, to be sure, that's not true, but it was.
so I got one to 165 on
Isn't
an
that crazy?
8S system, and it did not like it. I'll just say that.
I've seen Will had high timing on one of his EDFs, and he put one of his SMCs in there, and it cooked that sucker. I was like, yeah, definitely not good. Alan G asked a question: are there any good 4th of July RC sales going on? I'll say everybody pretty much has good 4th of July sales going on. I know Hobby King. I know Boomerang Jets has some. I'm sure Banana Hobby normally does something. We know Motion RC is not going to do anything.
No.
So
Horizon's got a few things on sale.
Yeah.
So what I understand we're doing is the L39 from Fly Fans is back down to its normal, like 199 price or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's dropped some price on there. At least I believe so, but we'll see.
I know Boomerang's run some pretty strong sales right now. I think they're F-16. I think
30% off on certain things, if I remember right.
Like $1,000 off on their PNP F-16 right now.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. I mean, like, if you're looking for, man, that's where it's at right there. Boomerang has consistently been killing it on the sales, and like, just I don't know how they're doing it, man, but they're doing it. They're getting it done. So, and they just got a good product too. So, very, very interested to see how that goes. Let me look here. FMS Direct only shipping to Canada. What? Well, that's interesting. Let's see here. Mountain RC says we'll start force fire. RC Pilot Will says I cooked a V good ESC too. Yeah, I cooked 2 of those things, and those were just not good ESCs. So it happens. Let's see. Bill Wagner says no offense to Horizon.
Pilot Will said that. Where's Pilot Will?
I know he's
you're in the comments, but you're not on. What?
He's driving home. He popped on earlier, and he was in the background, but I don't know.
Oh, gotcha.
It said no offense to Horizon. They don't have much to make me want to spend money. The BH Motion have more types I'm interested in, and I would agree. Dude, I just personally feel like Horizon's been striking out really a lot, man. They've just been coming out with. For instance, let me show you guys. I'm going to say for instance because this is a new one that they just came out with, guys. Let's check this out. Look at that. You got a little Champ anniversary, and guess what? It's on pre-order. That's coming out in July 2025. You want a Champ? There you go. $149. Honestly, this is a good little platform to learn how to fly on, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably be a good beginner plane.
And honestly, I had one. Like, this was like probably – I bought a small one from my local hobby shop years ago to fly in this big natural area in front of my house, like this big park area I had, and it was great for it, and it flew good. So, but that is only 3 channels. If you can see, it has no
rudder, no.
Yeah, it's just rudder and elevator.
Oh, is that what it is?
Wow. Yep, that's it. And so we'll watch the video on it. We're going to kill that music, of course. Little hobby zones have always been around. They've always been. That says footage circa 2011. So they brought that sucker back. Look at that. And they probably put AS3X in there to make it fly so much better.
Well, why not?
I mean,
airplane for a beginner.
Transmitter too?
Yeah, look at that. That's not a bad deal, dude.
Yeah, it comes with a little transmitter. Huh?
Yeah, for $150, that's not bad at all.
No, for somebody who wants a new person, wants to get into the hobby.
I mean, these are the gateway airplanes that get people into the hobby, like you said, man. I mean, it gives them a little confidence, and then they want something bigger, and they get something bigger. So there's a place for all this stuff. There really is.
100%.
But
I started off on a UMX.
and look, a lot of people that want to spend a lot of money on airplanes, look, you can go get your battery for $5.99. Like, come on, you know, you want to upgrade and get you the 210 and fly for like 20 minutes on that thing. Jeez, yeah. So not terrible, man. It's definitely not terrible. So
That's
Horizon
a
Hobbies,
good starter airplane.
yep,
That's all it is.
they're celebrating.
Something that doesn't need RFID and all that stuff, and you can fly it apart. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, their 4th of July sale ain't much. I mean, it's got a few things in there, but
We'll take a
I mean,
look
the
at it.
OV10 Bronco is probably the biggest sale item.
I will say, man, this Trojan right here was a phenomenal flying airplane.
Oh yeah.
It did fly really, really nice. Somebody's shooting off fireworks I can hear. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. I just heard, I was seeing it was thunder. I was like, no, what is that? But you know, somebody shooting off fireworks. Let's see here. So let's take a look here. I'm jumping into the comments. Let's see. The blue 120 amp Hobby Wing ESCs, I love. Those are really good, to be honest with you. And I have one, man. Those things are bulletproof. The Castle 140, I have to recalibrate every time. Yeah. So, yeah, Josh Bunn, I guess that was a re-release that they had way back in the day. They just kind of came out and redid it, revamped it. Let's see. D675, he says, is that X-Fly J65 in the background?
Sure is.
It is. Yep.
That is our version 2 J65.
And it's coming. It's coming. But more than that, where's that J20 at?
Oh, you want me to answer this for you, Jeremy, or do you want to answer it?
Answer it, because I'm gonna go ahead and put
You
it out
want me to
there.
answer it, Jeremy?
Where's it at, Jeremy?
No, I'll let Jeremy answer. I know it. I know the answer. Go
Tell
ahead,
us.
Jeremy.
Well, let's hear your answer.
It's in the warehouse.
There you go. It's in the warehouse, boys and girls. So
All right, so there's some things that we're going to be doing with the airplane first. We want to proof it, and then we'll make it available to you guys.
there you have it. And there you have it. One last check on it, and then boom.
So what he was really saying, guys, is he needs to do a how to assemble it video,
Yeah.
and then so it's all on Jeremy. Jeremy is holding up the train right now. It's all Jeremy.
He's holding
Yeah,
everybody back.
and if you annoy me, we'll make it worse.
That's funny. I actually like that.
Take that, Tim.
Yeah. Now,
No,
hey,
no more leaks, people.
I was trying to. I know exactly. Quit leaking stuff. I was waiting for Will to kick in this, but got a question here. What is the RC airplane that you regret most? Which one is the airplane that you regret most? All right, Tim, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take that one, dude. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think.
And then
Yeah,
you
on the spot.
comments too.
Give us a minute. Give us a minute to think.
Yeah, I mean you're putting me on the spot, Bobby. You've had more planes than any of us.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I can think of some that I regret.
Worst plane I ever purchased that I
Yeah.
didn't like.
I can tell you which one.
I know which one. I know which one.
Which one?
I was dumb enough to buy one of those Skynetic. Oh, what was that thing called?
Bison?
Bingo.
I did too.
Piece of shiitake.
Yes. It was heavy. It flew terrible. And I'll one up you there, sir. I would say the Draco. I regretted buying that airplane, man. It looked really nice, but dude, I did not enjoy how it flew.
I had one and I liked it all right, but the Bison was by far just absolutely
just terrible,
horrendous.
I remember getting the Bison.
If I could tell you all the stuff on that airplane,
I know all about it now.
I remember
but I didn't.
And I remember having the tires. They had like these Tundra tires, guys, and it didn't come with the pump. And I'm like, so how am I supposed to pump these tires up? Like,
you can go buy a basketball pump.
And you had to glue the tire to the rim.
I did, exactly. I was like,
oh yeah, you did. Well, mine ended up going down because you remember they had what do they call that thing on the front that when you put the flaps down, the spoiler?
Slats.
So yeah, the slat. One of the slats came loose on, I believe it was the right wing, and it was hung on by one. And all of a sudden, that thing went into it and I was trying to get out of it and go left, and it just kept going down. And I was like, and you could see the thing just hanging off the wing, and I was like, oh god.
Dude, that was a bad airplane, and I remember Jeff actually bought that airplane, and he was like, dude, this is terrible. Our review of it is still up, and we're like, this is not it. Like, this is not good. But yeah, that one, man, for me, that one, the Draco, and then also they came out with another little airplane too that was terrible. The SR-71, I would say that's probably the most notable flop that I can remember. And some people love that thing. I don't know how, but they I didn't.
Yeah, I bought a Draco and I flew it for a little while, and it was a neat plane. But I was newer into the hobby at that point, so I didn't know any better. But that Skynetic was just, I mean, I was like, why did I buy this piece of crap?
Skynetic Bison, yeah, yep. Motion RC. I'm sure they probably were like, yeah, we made some bad decisions on that one. I should have listened to somebody probably, but they didn't. So, but anyway.
I would have known some people back then before I would have bought it, and I would have known better.
Oh, I know, man, for sure.
Oh, Jeremy never gave us his worst. Come on, Jeremy.
What's your worst?
What's noise y'all talking? Huh?
There.
Stop thinking so hard, Jeremy.
We can't hear you. Now we can hear you. No,
stop thinking so hard. What's all this noise y'all talking?
What in the world is going on with your mic this time? Now you sound like you're
louder
screaming.
Than heck. And...
Normally we can't hear you. Now you're screaming.
See, so I fix it, and now you're not happy with it. Hold on, let me dial it down. Is that better?
You got to go to that auto sound or whatever.
It's getting better.
Auto leveling.
But now I got because I done got them all mad and stuff.
There we go.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have very, very similar feelings on those two planes that you talked about. The Draco was absolute dog crap. Anyway, it's just what it was. But I have a different approach on the whole. What is the worst airplane? The one you regret? So I have a lot of regret in one big turbine I have, and it's not that the airplane sucks. It's the amount of service I didn't get, and the way I was treated in that.
Man, you hear him tap dancing? He's tap dancing all around that right there.
He's gonna tell us. He's gonna tell us.
So my big Thunderbird F-16 from Top RC.
Yeah.
I love the jet, but when I needed stuff on there, I was treated with like super disrespect. So I'm out.
Oh, wow.
That's what made that experience not as great. You know
was
what
that
I mean?
from?
So,
We're not going to say the name.
I'm not going to say any name. You can only get it from a couple of places.
You can only get it.
What was the model?
In the
What
US.
was the model? I missed the model name.
F-100.
No.
Which
the F-16, my Thunderbird F-16.
Yeah.
Oh.
I will tell you on the Top RCs, because I own two. And I've got the FW190 and I've got the Zero, and I've been happy with them. But I have a friend that has the Mustang. Dude, you can't hardly pick that thing up and you think it's going to break.
Oh, it's made.
Well, mine is not a problem with that. I've proven this airplane. I've had to do it. I've had to solidify it. And and so I had problems with landing gear, right? Literally right here. And essentially was promised a lot of things. And then when asked about that promise, then that promise changed, and then it changed and it changed and changed. Eventually I took the crap out. I had JP make me my own retracts. And then essentially my airplane is freaking awesome, and I've proven it, and I've flown thousands of flights on it. but it was a regretful airplane at the beginning. Like I was super regretful on it. So it is what it is.
Yep.
But
nothing wrong with that, dude.
But the Draco, man, despised that airplane.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I despised it, but again, I didn't keep it very long.
Yeah.
I despised it.
I looked for the first person to want to buy it from me. and I asked them what they thought it was worth, and I gave it to them for whatever they said.
I completely understand. I completely understand.
But again, like I said, the Top RC F16, when you get it right and you get it set up well, the thing's a boss, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And honestly, I think that's with any Top RC. It's just there's a lot of work to get them right.
Yeah. But I mean, I had to do everything. Like I needed parts, and it was like ridiculous.
Well, that's part of the problem with Top RC. It's hard to get parts. They only carry so many parts, and then there's like I need a new canopy for my Zero because it's just yellowed, and you can't get a canopy. You cannot get
my Thunderbird is super yellowed right now.
Yeah,
what's the deal with that?
You can't get the part.
Jeez. Yeah, we all know that parts are a necessity when you're selling a product, an airplane. If you don't have parts, man, you're just like selling a one-time thing, and then after that, you're just gonna have disgruntled people because you all tear up stuff like I tear up stuff. You're gonna need parts like everybody else. I'm over here looking around. I've got like extra parts.
And benefit of the doubt, maybe there was some kind of miscommunication or whatnot, but I don't think there was. I just think that I was just treated like crap. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like I tell everybody else, man, when that happens, all you got to do is take your business elsewhere, and they'll fill it indirectly. Let's see here. Plain Day says, I'm going to tell you something that will never leave you. Don't let other people control the way you feel. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I always say don't let people live in your head rent-free. Also, friends don't let friends fly their airplanes without gyros. Let's see here. Red Wine is Fine says, can't wait for the Topper Harley EDF release from Hot Shots. Coming on 90 millimeter. What is a Topper Harley EDF? I've never heard of that. Do y'all know what that is?
I have no clue.
Google it. Me neither. Let me see. I'm going to look and see exactly what that looks like.
And while you're looking at that, Dotson Henry, I saw your comment about getting that gifted that Zeroli F4U Corsair. That Brent Hike he just got one from somebody free, and his son's flying it. That'll be a great plane for you once you get it airworthy.
Man. Yeah.
I wish you would gift me some planes, Jeremy.
Exactly. Let's see here. Lionel
Jeremy's back in the picture. What?
Nothing. I'll see you.
Sorry, I've got a screen behind so that I can see the comments of everybody on YouTube.
That's funny. Lionel said, Bobby, did you look at the turbine crash video I uploaded to your Facebook page? No, I didn't. Let me look.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I can. I hate when people crash, but I'll check it out.
I don't know if we should play that though. I mean, Will might go have some PTSD or something here.
Man!
Oh, get out of here, man!
This is the setup that I'm doing right there.
Wow!
You see how they came for you? Oh, Lionel Randall. Yeah, I saw this video actually.
All my crashes are well controlled.
Yeah, I'll show you guys actually. I saw this on YouTube. I saw this on YouTube. I'll share it real quick. And I don't own this video or anything like that, but yeah, I'll show it to you guys. Let's see here.
Turbine crash, huh?
Yeah, there we go. It was like a nasty dead stick. So here we go.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
this is about Mark Bargman. It's his video, and he posted about 3 weeks ago. Look at
that. That one guy in the middle there, the black guy, he's a member of our club.
Man, I bet he was like, "What in the world?" But here's my thing. That's a dead stick, right? Obviously. So that's a stall.
You still got to fly the airplane.
Yep. That's a stall. It's not really flying, but he stayed in the flight all the way down. He did the best he could. Right? Stall some more.
Keep flying the plane.
Yep. And look, it wouldn't have been bad had he, he hit the runway. So, and look, the safety net did its job, man. So those guys shouldn't all have been crowded around there, but I think the guy in the black shirt's actually flying an airplane. So look.
Oh, it went into the pits is what it did, and then it was trying to escape the pits.
Yeah, exactly. So look, that's the pilot. That's the I guess the guy watching for him, and then this is another pilot. This is the other guy watching for him as well.
The guy in the black shirt ain't moving.
Yeah, because he's flying his airplane. Look, he's still flying. He's like, oh my god, right?
I told you the story where a guy took off at our field, and if I didn't have a spotter standing next to me that grabbed me and pulled me back, the plane it was a biplane with a gas motor on it, and it went right in front of my face about probably a foot.
Yeah, but that's Mike Bargman right there's video, guys. So y'all can check that out over there. But yeah, he caught that moment right there. That's crazy.
That's scary.
You gotta play that. We saw that guy get hit with the P-38 while
I was just gonna bring that up. Did you remember that P-38 guy? Oh,
I remember that guy.
We saw my buddy Eddie destroy his turbine on the power pole. Yep. I mean, come on, knock it out. Come on.
I'm telling you, dude. It was. Hey, if you're gonna do it, go big, right? So, I thought that was pretty crazy. Let me look here. Let's see here. I'm looking in the comments here.
You see what Playing Day said?
I was just reading it.
It's questionable times when newbies were doing things they shouldn't be. It usually amounts to everyone ducking for sure.
That's true.
100%. But
I definitely know about a lot of ducking that happened at one of the fly-ins where the plane went in today. It was actually a huge gap.
Well, that brings up a good question I got to ask the audience and everyone in this.
Yeah.
So let's say he flew that into somebody's plane in the pits.
Okay.
Is he or hit somebody? Is the pilot responsible in replacing all those planes?
Sure is.
I would say, yeah, man, because
Because we have one way or another.
We're having a debate at our field right now and you all heard about where I had to dump my Spitfire in the ground because the guy freaking walked out on the field with a dead stick, and I walked out while I was trying to land it and had to ditch it. But I'm not totally referring to that because I ditched it, not to hit him. But if I ran into him, or which would have been the worst thing possible.
Oh, for sure.
Because it could have hurt him. But, we're having a debate on who's responsible for what if they crash into the pits and wipe out 2, 3, 4 planes. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you're gonna figure out how to bring restitution to that.
Yeah. You're gonna have to pull out the credit card. I don't want no check. Checks bounce.
Let's say, what if the person says, "No, I'm not going to do it"? I mean, the only way you can do it is take civil means. Got to sue them. Because your AMA insurance
you'd have to take them to small claims court.
Yep, because your AMA won't cover that.
Well, is like your club, Jeremy or Bobby, are you all have it in the bylaws that if somebody does that they are responsible?
I have to look at our bylaws.
That's the discussion we're having right now. In our club, we're redoing our bylaws for the next.
We have it in there.
First and foremost, the planes that are usually in the pits are pretty far back. Like
we've had people crash in a parking lot.
Yeah,
we've had people crash in our parking lot, hit our clubhouse.
Here's the thing: anybody can crash anywhere.
Right.
The answer is what happened? What was the situation? Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? If the person was obviously screwing around or he lost signal or whatnot, he's still 100% responsible for where that plane goes.
Right.
You go and you set somebody's farmer's field on fire because your plane crashed. Are you going to be responsible for that? Absolutely. That guy's going to come after you and that club. You know what I mean?
That's also, and just because you have a sign saying, enter at your own, risk and stuff like that. Like we have a sign that says, caution, enter at your own risk or whatever. It still doesn't negate you from liability. You can still be sued civilly from that.
All that liability is it puts it from the club, so the club is not going to be the one getting in trouble for it. It's the individual actions of whatever happened. It's like a car accident. You know what I mean? You have a car accident on your club's field. who's going to be responsible? The guy that caused the accident. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same. It's the same in every aspect. You know,
But
somebody goes up and kicks your airplane. You're going to go and you're going to tell them that they got to replace it. You're going to get their information, hopefully, or you're going to end up taking them down.
I was going to say, and the short answer for that one, Tim, is it's all a civil issue. So
I agree.
If
some
come
people
up and pay, then you're going to sue them civilly.
I mean, some people in my club think that guy should pay for my Spitfire.
I agree.
That guy hasn't even spoke to me or said a word to me. But and that doesn't really matter. Again, I ditched it on purpose.
Well, I think he should be kicked from the club because he walked out on the field without yelling on the field.
Right.
Well, why would you go out on the field when I'm saying I'm a dead stick landing?
But that's what he's supposed to.
But I agree, and I yelled out dead stick.
Still supposed to yell on the field before walking on the field because you don't know if a person, even if you're not dead stick. Let's say you were coming for a low pass, you call low right after he walks out on the field.
Mount Narcy asks a good question. He says, "Is there any responsibility on a mid-air, or is that classified as an accident?"
Depends how it happened.
Yeah, I mean,
if you have more than one aircraft in the air, you should be flying in a pattern. Period.
Correct.
Right? Some type of a pattern. If you end up running into somebody and they're flying opposite of the pattern, then the responsible person is the against the grain person. You pet the dog backwards, it doesn't like it. That's what it is.
What if someone cuts short of the pattern? What if they're all in pattern? But
this is all civil. All this is civil.
But here's the thing: that just happened at a jet event where the guy cut into the middle of the field as a guy was doing a pass over the runway, and he hit the two very, very big.
That's that F-18 incident. To me, that F-18 was the one at flaw because he didn't identify that he was doing a hard 360.
Right.
The other person was assuming that he was going to be buzzing out and going around and getting in line for the runway.
Right.
Well, that's like what me and Bobby, when we're out flying and we got it's me, Bobby, and there's a couple of other guys that fly up in the air with us now. And they'll call out something or whatever, and then Bobby and I will let them know where we're at. Or if I'm over in the corner making a turn and somebody's gonna in the land and they called out the land, and then I say, "Oh, I'm coming in too."
Yeah.
I'll also call out a 360 left or a 360 right over in that corner so that everybody else will know I'm over in that corner doing a 360 so I can set up the land after.
Right.
If you're not going to
we are good about doing that at our field.
Yeah, if you're not going to introduce your airplane at the end of the runway coming through the very end hash marks or whatever your flight path is, then you're wrong. You know what I mean? You're the one that if you clobber somebody, you introduced your airplane at the wrong point.
Right.
Well, and here's some of the risk is if you decide to go up I was at the Rams event a few weeks back, a few weeks back, Warbird event, and we had a ton of planes up, but however we knew we were doing a Warbird gaggle. So at that point, you're basically anybody that's in that gaggle basically is
all bets are off.
All bets are off. I mean, if somebody's going to have a midair collision,
that's a special thing.
Right.
That is kind of like, but if you're up there on normal flying, ideally they had a pilot meeting at the beginning of the event that says, all right, this is an event. We've got this many people going on. This many are allowed to be up. Keep this type of a pattern. If you're on this side of this said thing, you should be going this way. And if you're on that side of it, you should be going that way. I mean, as long as they had clear definitions of what the rules were.
Well, a lot of it's too, it's also common sense. Like, if you're a pattern flyer or you're flying an EDM, you see a 3D plane in the air, you don't go up.
I'm not going up with a 3D plane with a jet or a Warbird.
Yeah.
I'm saying if a 3D pilot takes
that's what I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
And you have a jet or a Warbird, you're going to fly pattern. The last thing you want to do is take your plane in the air with someone who's doing 3D because they have no pattern. So they can be anywhere in the air.
It's very simple for me. When I see I can look up, and if I look to my left and right, there's only a couple people that I will fly in the air with at the same time. When I see that one person or two person that makes me say, I don't know about this,
I'm standing my ground. I'm with you, 100% with you on
Well,
that.
and that's the other thing that
Yeah.
isn't stated, right? So you go up on an airplane.
The gate,
If you start feeling uncomfortable with a situation, you have the controls of your airplane. Bring it in.
And I did that at the
a couple
Warbird.
of times too. Bobby was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't fly right now."
You know, and Josh Bunn pointed out a good thing. A lot of spotters, a lot of spotters don't do their job.
Exactly.
They're supposed to be watching your plane and where the other planes are. And when I'm spotting for somebody, like if I'm standing next to Jeremy or Bobby, and you guys are flying at Jets Over Kentucky or wherever we are, I'm going, okay, you're coming up behind somebody because you're kicking it, and they're not. They're flying at half speed. And these spotters, I mean, just at that Warbird event, there was people that they were sitting there talking and not even watching what their pilot was doing and where the other planes were in relationship to the plane they're spotting for.
But it's just like when you were here, Tim, and I was right there with you, and I was like, "Oh, you got this, at a low altitude. This one's such and such place. Like, you got a person that the pilot knows, where everyone else is, and how close he is to the other planes, just like you said."
Right, because the only thing we can do as a pilot is see the planes in front of us or behind us.
Yeah, because you're flying
you can't see where everybody else is.
Yeah, you're flying line of sight. It's different if it was, POV, of course, because then you can see yourself getting close to another plane. You can see the altitude it's at, so long as it's in the window of the camera. But line of sight, that's you got to keep an eye on your plane, like
right.
so you don't have time to see everyone else.
For sure. Well, hey, let's move on to the next topic, guys. What do you guys think is the most surprising RC airplane that has come out so far? I know that's a general one, but let's say within the past 2 years. 23, 24, 25, 3 years, whatever. What do you think was the most surprising airplane that came out that you're like, oh wow, I didn't expect that? Let's think about that. I'm gonna let you guys in the comments as well jump in there, because I was just thinking about this one earlier. I was like, which one is the most surprising RC airplane that has come out so far? Because there's been some from left field that I was like, you know what, I never really thought about that. Like the T7A would be one, right? Like I never really thought about that T7, the T7A coming out. It's actually a pretty good airplane.
What about the B1, the B2, and even the SR-71? I mean, those are planes that I never thought would probably be in the price point that they are, even though they're foamies. That's a pretty neat feat.
Yeah, that B1 is
Jeremy a little beat on his chest over there for him.
Oh yeah, we weren't actually, like, we didn't know that B1 was coming, and it just literally popped out. That was actually pretty cool.
So you guys know, and I don't know if I've said this before, that plane was originally supposed to be a TU 160 or whatever it is, the White Swan, and I ex-nayed that as fast as I could.
Man, I wonder how come. What was the reason for that one?
Because I worked B1s, and the White Swan is an ugly airplane.
It does, with a little pointy nose, all kind of like a beak. Man.
No, it looks like a B1, but it's the Russian version, and it's ugly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Raptor's Nest said the B2 and the SR-71 surprised them. I will say that the SR-71 was definitely surprising. I didn't.
Yeah, the SR-71 was a surprise.
I did not expect that one. Actually,
the B2 is like 3 years ago or more.
But still, it was surprising. I mean, to see that thing come out, it was pretty neat to see.
And for the size that they made it too, you know.
You know what I would think would be really cool and surprising is somebody comes out with a F-35 or a Harrier with vertical.
Dude, I want one.
VTOL.
I know. Nobody's came out with a Harrier yet.
You know why they're not going to do that?
Well, I mean, it couldn't be a jump jet.
Because it's going to cost too much?
It couldn't be like
there's point one.
Yeah.
What's another
people are going to crash it?
There's point two.
Yeah, and also too, it would have to be like you're gonna need like it can't be like the vertical takeoff. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's absolutely not going to happen. If somebody does that, they're risking a lot. So, for instance,
I don't see why it's not possible though, because I mean they made the Osprey
different. It's just different.
He said different. Okay, he just said different.
I mean,
It's
hovering
just
into
different.
a horizontal travel is hovering into a horizontal.
I saw one of those, Will, on its maiden flight. It didn't go so well.
Yeah, I see them all the time. They fly over my neighbor.
No, I'm talking about an RC one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy that's doing some really great stuff with the B version F-35 stuff on there.
I've seen the videos.
The dilemma is the cost that it's going to be, the requirements that it's going to be. It's not just like it. Okay, if they could make it to where it handled like a DJI drone, where you take your hands off the sticks and it just whoop sits there, they can make money on it. But if it has any kind of quirks or requires input on there, there's not a lot of people at that level that would be able to have the success in there to give it a good reputable version of it. I don't.
By the way, I don't own this video, guys. Just so y'all can see, this is brought to you by Joel and Melly Vistoff.
Yeah, they do fantastic work with it.
So check this one out, guys. I mean, there you go. T-35 backyard test, an old video. Joel and Melanie Vishkoff stay on that video right there. I don't own that.
But look at how unstable.
That last little part where it's wiggling like that, that would take almost every pilot out, and they'd crash, and then they would call a customer service and say the airplane didn't act like it did, and it would be a nightmare for any company to risk doing that. It just wouldn't happen.
Maybe someone can partner up with DJI, and or maybe DJI can make it themselves.
Yeah.
It would definitely put them out, put them into the.
It would be an awesome venture if they did, but DJI, in my opinion, I think DJI has got it so locked on drones they wouldn't even be looking at anything like this. This would be minuscule on there. But I don't know. I don't think that they see it as the hobbyist. They see more money in the business side of things, I think. So I don't know. I don't foresee that. I remember a person told me a long time ago that they would never ever have an SR-71 being built because it would be too advanced for people. Same for a B-2. And
that was before gyros.
And that was even with gyros because there's a line of experience where you want people to be with experience, and then where you want to take that risk and see if they can top to that. If your company's willing to do that risk and absorb that gap of above experienced people, you might make a lot of money on it, but you also got to take the risk that it's going to be a crapshoot and people are not going to do it.
For sure.
They're not going to have success.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Like I was saying, that Osprey, right? Have you ever flown that Osprey that we sell? Any of you?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, so out of 4 of us, I have. And I've had 3 of them. It's an awesome airplane once you figure it out and you learn all the little tricks of it, right? But not everybody's at that level. So they're going to go on their first flight and they're not going to know how to handle it. And they're going to topple it over and it's going to be in because it requires a little more pilot control than just like a DJI drone. You know what I mean?
The motor that we had, it's different. It's a little wonky to fly. Yeah.
So it's just there's a lot of great flyers out there, but when you start adding the abnormal into the aspect of things, like thrust, vertical takeoff, it's a huge risk that a lot of people will have a lot of problem with.
Oh, I agree.
Josh Blunt says, "Look at the comp ARF B2. I have since those things turned into a spinner in the air. Wow, yeah." Yeah, man, it's just kind of one of those things.
I've flown that Comp ARF V2, and it's got its things you got to know too. Again, it's not a beginner airplane. You know,
Right.
it's not even a really advanced pilot thing. It's like an extremely experienced pilot thing. And if you don't do it right, you're going to have problems with it. You know.
Bill Wagner
But
says,
even swing wing airplanes, you have people that can't get that one right. You know.
Bill
And
Wagner
that's
says,
not really a hard transition.
but as bad as E-Flight was, along with horrible sales, took something to introduce. There's an F-35 with vertical takeoff on the ground going forwards that you can 3D print. So, well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be always those 3D print options that the people that you had mentioned on there with their F-35 thing on there, you know, they're going to do wonders if they can get it to work well. But as a company, it's a huge liability to try and jump into it on the level.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the best budget EDF and prop plane. I narrowed it down to 2 for EDFs, like just all around good flyers. And then I'll let you guys jump in on the prop planes. 1, for value and everything, I said the Avanti S, 80 millimeter, right? And then number 2, the FMS Bayhawk. Will, what do you think, dude?
Oh man, yeah, the Bayhawk. Yeah.
Yep.
That Bayhawk is definitely on that list. It's not expensive and it just fly. And I mean, you can even fly it in. We flew it in 30-mile-an-hour wind.
We did actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it had no problem, no problem. You just, of course, you're gonna need a gyro, but other than that, I haven't flown the version 2 of the 80 millimeter Avanti, but I have flown the version 1, and it's fire too. Doesn't have any, stall tendencies where it just drop a wing on you. None of that stuff, man. I mean, you can slow it down and make a turn. It'll get weird, but it's still gonna keep flying, So yeah, it's definitely a good bang for the buck, especially if you go with the 6S version. But I mean, 8S, of course, more.
What about you, Tim? What's your pick?
You know, I have no clue on what I would pick on that.
What do you mean by bang for the buck? What dollar value? I mean,
it's not that expensive of a bird. I mean, $500. The 80 mil is plenty of power, and it doesn't just stall easy like a Viper. A Viper will stall easier than a Bayhawk.
Yeah, I like the Mirage. I think the Mirage is a good bang for the buck.
But again, there's categories. You know, you got.
We're talking about all around. We're talking about all around. The Avanti is fast. The Avanti is fast. It doesn't kill milliamp hours, and it doesn't stall as easy. The Avanti is actually pretty good, man, for the price you pay for it. It's a good flying plane. Now the 90 mil from FMS, I don't know. I think that may fly just as good. I haven't flown one. I haven't seen one fly before, so I don't know. I mean, I've seen one hover around like a jackrabbit, but that's just hovering around. I mean, actually seeing it fly, that's a whole nother thing. But the 80 mil from Freewing, I actually think is pretty good. I mean, I got to give them credit where it is a good Avanti.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I'm looking in the comments over there. Lionel Randall says the Fly Fans L39, definitely the best bang for the buck for sure in the 70 realm for sure, because that thing is just amazing. The Super Tucano is an amazing airplane too. Yeah, I would agree. P51 fan says the XY 40 millimeter jets are great bang for the buck. I would
talk about the 40 mils and the 64s. That's apples to oranges. We're talking 80 mil. 80 mil is going to cost more.
But that's what I'm at. But that's what I was asking. I mean, there's so many categories.
Yeah. Now we're talking about just planes in general. That doggone C-17 behind you is waiting.
Dude, that's what I was going to say. Guys, I mean, if you don't have one or if you haven't flown it yet, you'll understand once you've flown it.
Yeah, that's C-17.
And that's got its goods and bads to it too. I wish it had retracts, but it flies awesome. It flies for a really long time. But I mean, you're talking, you know, like the Avanti is a sport jet series, you know, and it's 80 mil, you know, that like, you know, what some of these guys are saying, the 40 mils, they see them as a great bang. So that's their value, you know, to where they see it, you know. It really all just depends on the budget of the person, I think, you know. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think, you know. For me, I like long lasting flights, right? I like to be able to
slow walks on the beach,
watch the sunset. No, no, I don't know. It just all, you know, best bang for the buck. I mean, I would say bang for the buck is some turbines too.
I would agree.
You know, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, there's all kinds
of about that now. I mean, that's steep pockets, turbine.
but money is not that. What is the best bang for the buck?
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy flying the big F-16 that's 1/5 because it flies freaking awesome. I get all the sound, I get all the everything that I want out of it.
And
you know,
long
to me, it's
flight.
worth it. And really long flight times. You know what I mean?
Everybody does it.
But
Bobby
I don't know. It's just
yeah.
I think the question needs to not necessarily be bang for the buck. It needs to be, what is your favorite airplane that is worth it to you?
And that's why you got the best value. Budget.
What is the best valued airplane that you enjoy?
Best budget. You know? So if you're on a budget, there you got it. You know, you got.
If you're on a budget, every single small airplane's your budget because they're under $200.
C-17, E-Flight B2, the T1 Trojan.
I don't know about that now, Jeremy, because there's been people that popped into my comments and said, "Hey, can you sell me that for $100?"
Oh, I know. I've had people say that too, and I'm like,
well, refer them to the UMX airplanes of 4 years ago.
Amen to that.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Well,
I mean, heck, they've got those new, I think they're like Rage RC or something like that planes they're even over $100.
Then you go on Amazon and get those little yellow bendable ones that don't break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think they're like $70 or something like that.
Well, look at this, guys. We got the Flycat V2. I don't know if y'all had a chance.
Have you flown that yet?
I have actually.
I
want to know if you flew that little B2 yet.
No, not yet. I actually got it sitting over there. Look, I don't have a battery. I need a battery for that thing. A little 850 with that.
Well, from what I understand, Raleigh Hobby Shop has some of those.
Do. Raleigh Hobby Shop has everything you need and more. He's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong.
You need to go get a battery from them guys.
I was going to go buy
some local support there.
I know. Yeah, you're not wrong. Hey, but look, this is the V2 Flycat, guys. And we had a chance to take it up. Myself and Will, we took it up and everything, and it flew really, really well. I have it set up with a gyro and everything. Has the wire retracts, nothing special with that or anything, but it gets the job done, and it's a really nice, easy platform. It actually flies faster than what we anticipated.
Hey, wait. Don't tell them what it is. Without looking on the internet, what does everyone think that is? Is it a 70, 80, or 90?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Let's take a look.
I've already flown that.
Take a look in there.
Because that thing is really deceiving. Really deceiving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a really nice flying airplane. It's got the V2 in there, and yeah, man, it's a really nice looking airplane. It flies really, really nice. Myself and Will were presently surprised how well it actually flew. And another thing too is I literally before the show I actually just had this video uploaded. I just uploaded it, so let me just show you guys a little bit. I'll show you a tiny little bit, right? Just so y'all can see. It's literally fresh off the press right here. So let me see here.
Oh yeah, Will, show that Viper jet.
Oh yeah,
the Viper.
Yeah, we can see your Viper jet.
The Viper is it's complete. It's just what is it? We got to do some fine tuning on the adjustments and everything.
It needs TLC.
That's it.
TLC.
Turner Life Movie Network. All right, here we go.
It's gonna get TLC when it goes in the air.
That's it. Yeah. All right, here we go. So I'll show you a little quick snippet of this. And yeah, but literally I just completed it not, 30, 40 minutes ago. Here we go. So we got it right here. I'm going to jump around a little bit on this
and
one.
you actually put the wings on, and it was very, very easy. It wasn't hard at all, guys. But
It was like
this is going to be interesting because this is going to be my first.
Everywhere. So let's take a look at it right here.
Oh man, that thing's got power. Okay, that's
Yeah, I had the version 1 and I painted it like an F-86.
man.
It's
I
actually
called it the Saber Cat.
And we're going to take it up. Here we go.
It's actually a really nice flying
SMC
airplane.
4900. All right, here we go, Will.
Let's go. Oh, she's ready to take
I
off.
think I was flying it with a
Throttle.
4400.
Okay, it did its own thing. Look at that, man.
Thing was screaming.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's because
it's got
gear up.
great power. Like it's got good punch
Gear
out.
R up.
So that was a maiden flight.
Let me try to get it
gyro,
around so I
then
can trim
turned
it
the
and see
gyro
how
on,
that works.
so we could kind of
All
see
right,
what
we'll
was
put the
going
nose down a
on.
little bit there. Wow.
Very interesting. I'll show you this one real quick, and then I'm gonna let it go. So this is the other one, and this is when we had the gyro on and everything was dialed in. And you can kind
Got
of
4
see
minutes on the clock. Shoot,
how well it
I know,
was.
I probably could go 4 minutes and 30 seconds now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Seth,
But, all right,
Seth,
that's
it
what-
is a
that's
70
what-
mil, but it does not
Here we
look
go.
like a
You ready?
70.
Go
That
No, it
thing
does.
looks like
It
an
flies
80.
like a 80. Look how quick it takes off. It's up.
And rotate. Look how smooth that is. Gear up. Climbing
Well, you
like
got
a
to
homesick
think that
angel.
it's got the same similar power system as the Freewing
Trying to be
F-35.
That's it, man.
And
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go.
My rates are good. Yep, I feel it. There we go. Full throttle. Locked in, dude. That is crazy. That is crazy. Let's
Really
go to high
nice.
rates.
Yeah, it's a good flyer right there. That's enough for you guys to see. So yeah, man, but really good flying airplane, flew really nice. It was it's a good flyer, man. It's just one of those things where we had it dialed in too. So once we got that we got everything all squared away. It was a good flyer, man. The gyro was all tracking like it was supposed to do and everything. So we stuck a 4400 milliamp in that thing, and then we ran with some 4900 SMCs, and just a great flying airplane though. But yeah, it was a good plane, man. So stay tuned for that one, guys. I'm going to have that one coming out as well. Yeah, man. So other than that, that's pretty much what we got. I'm gonna jump into the comments, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up too. We're gonna roll it for about an hour and 12 minutes. And William Lane says, I have the Freewing Tomcat 80 that I may sell also, that has all the upgrades, all the fixings and trimmings. So yeah, man, I'm getting ready to cook off a bunch of airplanes that I got, and honestly, I don't have any more room whatsoever for some of the airplanes that I have. So I've got to cook some off. But also too, guys, I picked up these brand new Z4 S's. I'm going to put this in that C-17, these 3300s. And when me and Will were flying that C-17, we were really surprised at the flight times that we were getting just cruising around. Yeah, so stay tuned for that one. But other than that, Will, what you got, man? You got anything else?
Crash anything?
Yep. Yeah, he didn't crash anything, so that's always a good thing. That's a plus. What about you, Tim? What'd you get? You got anything?
No, not really. I hope everybody has a good 4th of July, and hopefully they get some more flying than it looks like we're going to get here in the Carolinas, but we shall see.
Yeah. Oh, I know, dude. Sunday's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow and on Saturday in North Carolina. So, PP1.
Tomorrow's the day to go if you're going to do it.
Oh, for sure. PP1,
Jeremy, we got a question for you.
Jeremy,
Oh, what's the question?
will Banana Hobby be getting new Aerofoam Turbine L39s? Looking at the Arctic camo or the USAF scheme? I like the USAF scheme, to be honest with you.
Yes, they should be in stock. If you have any questions, go to sales or send an email to sales@bananahobby.com.
Sales@bananahobby.com. There you
And
have
they
it.
will give you the exact answer right there. They should be in stock. The website is new. They're just updating quantities. So,
Man. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. Mal RC says, great show tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful, great 4th. Thanks for putting on a show every week, man. It's our pleasure. And
look at this dude. Look at what he sits on the table.
Right as we get ready to leave.
Yeah, we just want to
went
figure
bye-bye.
out. With that said, happy 4th right there. And Jeremy just teased everybody with that J20. Jeremy, you don't want to crack that box open real quick? Just show everybody what it looks like?
Nope, I've got to do the unboxing video for you guys because somehow you guys love them.
Yeah.
They're just looking at you. They're not looking at the plane.
That's
And again, everyone, if Jeremy doesn't get the video done very quickly, you will not see him very quickly.
That's right.
All Jeremy. It's on Jeremy right now.
All on Jeremy. Let's see. William Lane says, "I've seen the J20 fly, and not what I was expecting." So, boom, there you go. So, take that for
hopefully that's a good comment.
I know exactly. Yeah, it's like a very, very vague one.
Good night,
boys and girls. Y'all have a good one. We're gonna punch on out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up on the way out if you like what you see, and rock that the algorithm. Hey, let's see here. Opinion needed, BH Twin 64 SU or the Griping.
Which one? The 57?
Twin 64 SU.
There's lots of SUs out there.
Yeah,
we got the SU 25 out, or 27.
64, but ain't a hobby has it's the SU. The
27. The 80 millimeter Griping that they have. I don't know, man. I don't like the way the gripping looks.
So I think that Twin 64 SE27 is where it's at.
It's got good power. It flew really nice. It did.
And it can fly with one elevator.
Oh yeah, we all saw that, right?
Sure. Setup is key, guys.
That's it. It really is. But guys, happy 4th of July. We're gonna slide on out of here. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us, Jeremy, Will, and Tim, and ourselves. We really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. So we'll do this next Thursday. Be safe. Don't blow off any fingers, and don't forget to get out there and fly some in the heat while you can before it gets too cold. But other than that, we're out of here, boys and girls. We're gonna punch on out and call it quits.